well, time to begin. Welcome to your yoga sesh. We're gonna get you all blissed out and breathing. Blissed out and breathing. So what I'm going to invite you to do is scan through the body. I want to have you start with breath work and then a nice bit of nourishing movement. So if you want to sit. If you want to lay on your back, lay on your back. I want you to feel comfortable. And now I'll invite you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes in your space, you may hear sounds around you, but just kind of take note of them. Check, I noticed the sound of, say the refrigerator or the fish tank or the hum of equipment. Or maybe you hear people in your environment, but you're just sort of checking it off. And then notice your attention coming a little closer in the vicinity of your body, noticing the position that you're in, your whole body as comfortable as possible. And then what I'd ask you to do is begin to really cue up the breath. So you notice, without any change, you notice the inhalation, you notice your exhalation. And now gradually on the inhale, feel the body expand just a little bit more. Think of when you buy a brand new kitchen sponge. It's dried out, it's crunchy, and then you add some water to it. It expands. You watch it expand, you feel it expand. So feel on every breath in, you're like that brand new sponge, you're adding water. You expand. And then let the exhalation happen naturally. So looking to really create length for the spine on your inhale. Looking to add size and space into the right and the left side of the lung. Looking to feel that there is some effort involved in a deep breath. And while you focus on this deep breath, feel the body, it sort of plumps up a little bit. It fluffs up a little bit. Think of a hot air balloon filling up. It's tethered to the ground, but it's rising. It's rising and filling. So feel that fullness in yourself. And a byproduct of noticing the breath and staying committed to the breath is that the mind becomes a little calmer. You are present. You are focused. Singleness of purpose, breathing, being. The next time you inhale, at the very end of your inhalation, I want you to pause and count to 3 in a slow rhythm, just like the rhythm you've used to breathe in and breathe out. And then once you get to that 3 count, just let the breath go and feel the release and notice if it's casual, if it's urgent. How does it feel to let the breath out? And then begin that process again. Inhale, just fill up, delight in filling up as much as you can. And then at that very end of the inhalation, let yourself pause. And in that pause, count to 3. And as you get to the end of the 3 count, just let the breath out. And I'll ask you to cycle through that focus 3 more times. So you're breathing in, holding for the count of 3, letting it go. after that 3 count of holding the breath retention, let your natural breath return, and then move the head around a little bit, a light bit of movement. So now that you've really nourished the cells and you've brought breath into the body, oxygenating the system, releasing what the body just doesn't need now, add some nice movement. And then once you're satisfied with the movement of the head, move your shoulders around. Feel the shoulders move. And then let the arms start to stretch and open and close the hands and feel the fingers stretch. And take 2 more noticed breaths through a little bit of movement of shoulders, head, neck. Maybe even stick out your tongue or let your eyes bug out. Anything at all. Let your nostrils flare. Everything fighting for your attention, but you're doing a really good job of just staying on your mat. And then gradually let the whole body come into stillness. Rest a hand on the heart, a hand on the stomach. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And feel like you just lean into that bliss that you create from your breath, from your practice. Uniting your body and your mind with your yoga practice today. Setting an intention, just overall understanding that this practice is going to serve the world in a really great way just by us getting centered, getting grounded. Unity in self, unity in community. So for now, I ask you to take care of yourself. Take a deep breath in and then sigh the breath out. All right. If you're in seated, I am going to ask you to come down onto your back. So I just want to weave in a lot of good nourishing movement here. We'll go for hips, we'll go for shoulders. We will do some core work. All right. So let the body find its comfortable position on the back. And once you're grounded there, stretch out through the arms, stretch out through the legs. Make any adjustments so you feel really good where you are. So I will ask you to keep the focus on that fullness of breath, okay? And now bend the knees, stand your feet on your mat, start to rock your legs side to side. Feel steady in your shoulders and in your arms. Feel where the body is receptive to your breath. Is it one particular area that you need it? Is it everywhere? Does it feel like nowhere in this crazy time? Understanding that there's always potential to shift what we are experiencing. So one more time to each side. A little stretch to your toes. And then come on into center. And take, again, that big breath in and in some more. And then hold the breath for the count of 3. And then let the breath out. And I'll ask you to do that just one more time. Take a big, gigantic breath in and in. Hold the breath for the count of 3. And then let the breath out. Good. Lift your right foot, grab your right leg, give it a squeeze into the body. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And then drop the right foot and lift the left foot. Pull the knee in. Take a few steady breaths here. Feel your sense of balance. And then go ahead and drop the foot down. So what I'll ask you to do is keep your arms on the ground and again, lift the right foot and then start to circle your right hip. So anything that you need to do to create a sense of balance here, circle and take a deep breath in, circle in the other direction. In that circular pattern, how about if you lift your hands or you lift your arms while you circle? Yeah, so we're just, any class that I teach, you never know what the heck to expect. In real time, just breathe and move. Great, and then take one more breath. Pull the knee in with your hands and come into stillness. Get into the breath again. Inhale, hold the breath for that count of 3, and then let the breath go. On the next breath, stretch the left leg onto the mat, stretch it out, reach it out. Again, take a big breath in, hold the breath in for that 3 count. And let the breath out. Good work. Hold the back of the right thigh, stretch the leg to the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Bend both of the knees, bring the feet down, bring the head down, just chill out and let your natural breath feel like there's this real sense of integrity and harmony. It just naturally arises. Move the legs side to side, stretch out through the arms. Feel length in the spine. Feel fullness from your breath, really clearing your mind. One more time to each side and then come into stillness. Draw the left knee in towards the body. Good. And then from there, drop the arms and begin the hip circle on the left side. Find your sense of balance. Feel the mobility. Feel the range of motion. So a perfect opportunity for us to observe tightness and loose points, motion that the body is familiar with, or it's just really starting to get acquainted with. All right, another big breath in, option to lift the hands, to lift the arms, to play with a sense of balance. You know, shake out the hands, take another big breath in, and a full breath out. Good, and then use your hands, grab the leg, pull the knee in towards the body. And then pause here, take a big breath in, hold it for the 3 count. And then you'll let it out. And do that just one more time. Big, big, big breath in, hold it for the 3 count. And let it out. Now stretch the right leg onto the mat and take a big breath in and a full breath out. Hold on to the back of the left thigh and stretch the leg to the sky and take a few breaths here. Yeah, breathe into it. Feel your areas of interest here. Where do you feel sensitive? Where do you feel open? This is an opportunity to create space, to breathe bliss into the whole body receptive here. Awesome. Drop the foot, bend the knees. Feet are on the mat. Take a deep breath in. Start to move the legs side to side. Get the feet a little wider away from each other and notice how the body responds to that. Do you feel a stretch in the thighs and the hip and the groin? In your back, in your stomach, where do you feel what you feel? And just let yourself breathe some more space into that, more support. All right, and then the next time the knees are over to the left, pause, not trying to force the knees down, but what I'd like for you to feel is some length in the thighs, a little push down of your feet, and a stretch of the spine. And then with that, breathe. And then come to the point where I want you to breathe in, full breath in, hold it for the 3 count, let the breath out. Do that one more time. Take a big breath in and in, fill up, hold it for the 3 count, and let it go. And then feel your breath just soften you onto your back. You roll into center. You take a breath. And then begin to move the legs again, side to side. And in that movement of side to side, considering the distance you've created between the feet, do you want more distance? Do you want less distance? So I really want you tuned in to how your body receives this. The next time the knees dip over to the right, stay put, take a breath. So again, it's not about getting the knees down, but it's about pushing the feet down to engage the legs, to fill up in the body. So now that you've got the shape, you've got your engagement, focus on the breath. The inhale fills you up, fills you up. Hold the breath in for the 3 count. Let the breath go after the 3 count. Do that one more time. Big breath in. Fantastic job on the focus here. And then your natural breath just brings you into center. As you roll onto the back, take a breath. So now bring your feet to touch each other and open and close the legs a few times. And I often see that some of us will really like to just let the knees open up. All right, so take time. If that's a place for you to be, delight in that. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the steadiness of the movement that you've had so far. Come to a pause, a conscious pause. Breathe in and breathe out. Do that one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. And now bring the knees in towards the body. I'll ask you to start using the hands initially to squeeze them in. Lift the head, lift the heart, lift the shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out. Add the movement that feels great for you. Circling the hips, engaging the legs with your hands. Big breath in, full breath out. And now's the time that I'll ask you to have the head and shoulders and hands down and let the legs continue this motion. Is that okay on your back, love? Okay, just checking. Big breath in and a full breath out. And now in that motion, take the arms out to the side while your legs are moving and grooving. You pull the legs in, you move the legs away. You started by holding the legs. So take a second, bring the legs into center, hold your legs, and now what I'll ask you to do is take your palms and push them on your thighs. So push your thighs and your hands at each other and feel that steady engagement. Big breath in, full breath out. Push the hands and the thighs at each other for one more big breath. And now use the hands, pull the legs into the body and pull the knees away from each other. Pull the knees away from each other and take a big breath in. And then move the legs simply back and forth. Knees towards your body and knees away from the body. Yeah, so it's a nice pumping action of the thighs. Big breath in, full breath out. All right, so head and shoulders down. And then arms are down, and now let your legs on their own continue that pumping action. Feel the range of motion that you get in the pelvis, in the back. So a good way to protect into the back, blow the breath out. That engagement, you can continue that a little bit. So one more time, pull the legs in. Use the hands to draw the legs in, and take a big breath in and a full breath out. Good. Drop your left foot, Hold on to the right leg. Big breath in, full breath out. So let the breath help you to recalibrate where you are and what you feel. Big breath in, full breath out. One time, take a big breath in, hold it in for the 3 count. Let the breath go. Extend the left leg onto the mat. Take a big breath in and let the breath out. And then again, do that breath where you breathe in, you hold it in for the 3 count, and you let it out. Good. Hold on to the back of the right thigh and reach the leg to the sky. Start with just an easy breath. Good. And now breathe in, hold the breath in for the 3 count. Let the breath out. Keep the leg to the sky and bring the arms down to the ground. Big breath in, full breath out. Now I want you to feel that the right leg reaches up and the left leg reaches out and down. And take one more big breath in and a full breath out. Your right knee, bend it and now move it in a circle. Let the leg circle around. Feel a nice sense of balance. Good work. Take a deep breath in. Move it in the other direction, full breath out. And now allow for the ankle or the foot to stand somewhere on the right leg. Left leg, excuse me. Yeah, you've got it. Or you could go to the outside. On it or outside. I know that it's going to be a little different for each of us. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Keep the legs in this crisscross position and stand the left foot on your mat. And take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Feel the right knee move away from your chest. Feel all of your right toes brighten. And now in this shape, let the legs start to move side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Give it another big breath in and a full breath out. And now I'll ask you to unwind the legs and drop the feet and give yourself a moment to be still. Take a breath in and a breath out. Coming back to a feeling of being centered and grounded. Big breath in, easy breath out. Big breath in, easy breath out. Start the motion of moving the legs side to side. In that side to side motion, lift your feet off of the mat, with or without the hands this go around, okay? With or without the hands. And now one more time to each side, I'll ask you to be still and then start a motion from the center where the legs open and close. So come onto the back, the legs are close to each other, and then like a butterfly wing, open and close the legs, open and close the legs. Big breath in, full breath out. And now use the hands, pull the legs into the body, give yourself a squeeze, take a breath in and a full breath out. Drop the right foot, stretch the right leg on the mat, and in that reach of the leg, take a big breath in and a full breath out. Take a big breath in, full breath out. And now one time, breathe in, hold it in for the 3 count. Let it out. Good. Hold onto the back of the left thigh and take the leg to the sky. And just let yourself breathe. Feel the extension of your legs. Okay, and then one time, take the big breath in to hold it for the 3 count. Let the breath go. Good. Keep the leg high. Bring the arms to the ground, the hands to the ground. Hold this shape. Big breath in. Full breath out. Strong and steady in both legs. Let the legs hug at the midline and stretch out through the toes. Give it one more breath. Good work. Bend the knee and start to circle the hip. Have a little fun with that sense of balance. The sense of breath giving you steady support. Circle it around and circle it around. All right, and then to complete the motion, stand the foot on the leg or outside of the leg and just let yourself chill out. Just chill out and breathe. And now your right knee, bend it and stand the foot down. Keep the legs crossed, and then from there, feel the left knee move away from the shoulders. Feel all of your left toes engage. And from that sense of stability that you just created really exquisitely, start to move the legs side to side. Good job. Full breath in, full breath out. One more time to each side to unravel the legs and let the feet come down and let the body be still. Whatever shape you take, let it feel right for you. Easy breath in and out, in and out. Take one more big breath in. Go ahead and sigh the breath out. All right, so go ahead and bend the knees and stand the feet on the mat. And in preparation for bridge pose, bring the arms at the sides, power down into the feet. So you never want the feet too close to each other. You don't want them too wide away from each other. And here you'll see a nice bend into the elbows, get you engaged with the upper body to lift your heart and then lift the hips. Now, when we're in person and I'm teaching this, I always ask people to move in and out of it because I want to make sure that you feel like you've got your footing that supports your knees and it supports your back and it's your low back and it supports length to the spine and a lift to the heart. Right? And if you need the visual cue, I would ask you to totally come out to then look at the model of this pose to find what will feel right for you. But a lot of times when we're coming in and out of this, when we lift the hips, the chin goes to the chest. So you'll see here, the chin is really perfectly lifted away from the chest. The spine is long. The breath can keep flowing, right? Keep flowing. Okay, so what I'll ask you to do is rise up into your bridge, keep breathing in and out, scan through the body, notice everything working evenly. You'll see fingers are engaged, toes are engaged, legs and arms. And now come to your breath where you inhale and you hold it for that 3 count. And then you let it out. And do that again. Take a big breath in, power in the body, softness in the mind. You hold the breath in, you count to 3, Let the breath out and do that just one more time. Big breath in and in some more. Muscles of the body working evenly. And then let the hips start to move in a circle while you breathe. Just your regular breath. And notice where you feel this in your feet, in your ankles, in your knees, in your hips, in your low back, up into the chest. If this is a new movement for you, really want you to have some fun with it and note that it's a little bit of a different bridge pose. It's playful. You're just dancing it out, circle in the other direction, take another big breath in, and then let that circular pattern bring you all the way down. And once the hips descend down, what if you brought your feet to touch and the knees drop open? Does the body like that? Let yourself find a place that your body feels good. And I know my model likes this one where the feet are touching and the knees drop open. And take a nice deep breath in and a full breath out. Take one more big breath in, full breath out, feeling that sense of self on the mat, unity of your body and your mind. Gradually add in some movement. All right, stretch your fingers, stretch your toes, let the body get long and lush. And now what I'm going to ask you to do is actually just flip over onto your stomach. So you're going to get long and stretched out. We'll play with some nourishing movement on the front of your body. Whichever, however you feel good. If you want to look at me. You're doing great. How you feeling? All right, so here we've had this great focus on the breath, so I wanted to weave it in. This is always a really great one. Take a big breath in and a full breath out and feel the body settle into this shape. Feel your energy level getting balanced in a way that feels like it's exactly what you need right now, right? Sometimes we're not always sure exactly what we need, but it shows up. So I'm going to ask you to take your big breath in and your full breath out, and then weave in big full breath in, hold the breath in for the count of 3, to then let the breath out. And notice how proficient you're getting with that breath focus. Inhale, hold it in for the count of 3. Exhale, and do that one more time. The inhalation, the breath retention, and the exhalation. And now give a reach of your legs. Stretch your legs out in that stretch, then bend your knees. And now move the legs side to side. If you had your head to one side, I would invite you to switch it over to the other side. Good. One more breath to move the legs. And then let the legs come into stillness. Let your legs drop down to your mat. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. So there's a lot of moving into stillness to breathe into the breath body, to satisfy the mind, the organs. At this time, I'm going to have you place your hands under your shoulders, and I use that as a very general guideline. Oftentimes, if we put them right under the shoulders, I'm a pretty literal person, I'll be honest. So I take the hands personally a little wider. I mean, I think you look great. You look great. So the hands maybe just a little wider than the shoulders, and then lift the shoulders and let this be about length. And take a deep breath in and a full breath out. So let there be length in the neck. Tuck your chin just a little bit. You cool with that? And then allow for the elbows to give a little hug in, so you feel like you create some space. You lift the shoulders up. They hug onto the back. The arms hug in, and you reach long through the center of the body. And you give yourself one more big breath in and a full breath out. And then come on down. Come on down and notice, how did that positioning of hands and shoulders and the rising up and the breathing, really feel the echo of that in your body. All right, so again, I'll ask you to position the hands under the shoulders. This time I want to ask you to go a few inches out wider to, again, lift your shoulders while you push into the hands. And now feel like the hands are trying to drag you out ahead. Lift the shoulders to lift the chest. Take a big breath in and blow the breath out. So firm up in the stomach, supports the back beautifully. All right. And then as you breathe, shoulders are on the back, your neck is long. And now can you find the breath in and hold it for the 3 count? And then let the breath out. And then I'll ask you to come all the way down. Be done with that. Take a deep breath in. All done. Check that off the list. Together, put your hands on your hips. Lift your elbows. Possibly hands on the low back. I find that this is different for all shapes and sizes, all demographics of the yoga practice. So feel the shoulders lift and really reach the spine long, and take a big breath in. Option to lift the head, to lift the chest, to lift the shoulders. Option to add your feet lift up and your knees lift up. But I always say, let this be about length. Please let this be about length rather than how high up can I get. Right, reach your toes, reach the head, take another big breath in. And then come on down. All done. Well done. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Good. All right. So I'm going to ask you to bend your left knee out to the side. Your knee might line up with your hip. Your foot might line up with your knee. And for me personally, a lot for my hip and my back, I need to get a little longer in the spine. All right, and take a big breath in and a full breath out. I will give you the thought of adding a little bit of a pelvic tilt just to see how your body responds to it. And then a really skillful stretch for the thigh here. Bend the right knee and let the right leg go side to side. Remember earlier you did it with both legs. Now I just want you to do it with the one leg. So legs are in this pinwheel shape. Take a big breath in. Full breath out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it that tight? Is that a good stretch? Or is that weird?
No, it's good.
Okay. Your quad is so tight.
So tight.
All right, so why don't you come into center, and then we'll have you just take a breath and then build that on the other side. Okay, so pull the right knee out to the side and just, again, stretch the spine, entertain the feeling of just a little bit of a pelvic tilt if that's a good time, if that works, if it helps you out. Right, there can be things that happen in the body and we're not sure how to work with it, so I always like to just throw out ideas. And then bend the knee and let the leg move side to side. And I love to work with each side of the body independently because there's all these things that show up in the body and you just never know. The first side it looked like your quad was super tight and this side doesn't look that way. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fascinating stuff. It's fascinating. Can you be fascinated by it? Can you be curious about it rather than the other stuff the mind might do? All right, give it another big breath in and a full breath out. I hope you've liked this shape. I always find this shape to be really unique. I notice that people respond pretty well to it. Okay, so come on into center, take a breath. Just one more breath to be in the belly down shape. And then from here, prepare to come into table and then move in your own timing. But let the breath be the focus, right? Like your mind knows that pose where you're going. So arrive and then just start to move. Intuitively start to move the head and the shoulders and the ribs. Feel those instincts and you just respond to them. Just really gracefully, spontaneously. And then from the table, how about preparing in your mind for a down dog and then take in the actions that are necessary for that. Engage the arms, engage the legs, stretch the spine. Feel the presence of your feet and your hands. Heels are high. I know oftentimes folks think they need to get the heels down to the ground. We really want the heels up. We don't want the heels on the ground. That has an effect. A little overstretch to the Achilles, but also locks out the knees. So let the heels yearn to get down, yearn to get back, but lift the hips really high while you push into the hands. And the triceps, let them hug in towards each other. And that creates some really nice space in the shoulders and freedom in the neck. All right, and take another big breath in and a full breath out. Good. And then I would recommend more distance between the feet so you can walk your hands towards your feet. And I personally try to take that slowly because I find that my breath gets a little hung up. All right. And then return to your down dog, potentially plank pose if the shoulders are ready for it. The thing I'm really loving about plank pose lately, it helps me to find the strength of the legs and the length of the spine, and then return to the down dog. And within the breath, walk the hands towards the feet again. Feel the range of motion there in the shoulders and the length of the spine. I want you to do that one more time. Walk the hands forward in your own timing. Keep breathing, right? You're not in a race. There's no rush here. Plank pose is an option to shine the heart forward. Return to your down dog. Take a steady breath in and out. Walk the hands towards the feet. And then for a lot of folks, this could be a beautiful opportunity for a squat. So you want to take the feet out wide. So this is another one that people ask me, heels up or heels down. I personally like to have my heels up because of the work that does for my feet and the way that stabilizes the ankles. You'll get a different stretch if you push the heels down. But there's also a different sensation if the feet are close or if the feet are wide. So check out the options. Big breath in and a full breath out. And then what I'd love for you to weave in here is bring your right hand down and extend the left arm up. So again, strong legs, long spine, and then you just breathe. Just take another big breath in. Yeah, and then switch that out. Bring the hand down and feel the right arm. It just opens up. You open up across the chest and there's length in the spine. Good work. And you bring the hand down. And then just go ahead and plan to crawl forward onto your hands and knees. Round the back, arch the back. Get the knees away from each other, a nice wide distance for a child's pose, and then sink back, melt back, retreat into the breath without any feeling of urgency. So if it's necessary, that's okay. But if it's an opportunity to just let go, that's okay. Right? Just let yourself be with your breath in and your breath out. Through an extended child's pose, so here the arms are extended out in front. I'll ask you to do the same at home. Bring your hands over to the left and sink the hips back. Now there's a couple little add-ons that I want to throw your way in your child's pose. So here, the hips go back. What if you send your hips over to the right? Do you feel a different sensation with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it might be slight for some, and for others, it's going to be like, whoa, hey now. All right, and then the right hand could sit atop of the left hand. So just a little bit more length. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Always an option, passive legs or active legs. You decide. But it's good to practice the options. All right, so come on into center, hips into center, arms into center, heart into center. Good. And then I'll have you just go over to the other side and just check it out. Feel into it. Extend, right? And give yourself a chance to land. I know there are times that we're practicing and we might be really eager to try the new variation, or we might feel like avoiding it. So first off, let's just land where we are. Then add in the option for your hips to go to the left. Take a breath in and out. And then as you breathe into that, the option to bring the left hand on top of the right. Breathe in and breathe out. So again, the breath work that you started with makes this even more beneficial, right? Adding to the space between the ribs, the intercostal muscles getting strong, helping the lungs, helping the immune system, helping the heart, helping with digestion. All right, give it another big breath in. When you're ready, come on into center. Rise up to your table, round the back and arch the back. Okie dokie. So I'll ask you to come into seated, and if you could sit in the middle of your mat, and then you could just stretch your legs out. Okay? So sitting in a wide position between the legs. Sit out long, stretch out long. Now with the work that you've done, just let yourself sit here. So again, we want to arrive initially and just see where we'll go from there. Okay? Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And then walk the hands out in front of you. Lean forward, stretch forward. Opportunity to twinkle the toes. Push the heels down. Engage with the legs. Good. And then walk the hands over to the left leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Come into center and then walk your hands over to your right leg. Ooh, bless you, bless you. Whew. Good luck when you sneeze in yoga class. Do you need tissue? Okay. Come on into center. Sit tall and stretch your arms high into the air. Take a deep breath in. Okay. So I want you to bend your right elbow, and then use your left hand to grab the elbow. So some of us are going to be in front of the face, some of us will be over the head, some of us will be behind, right? I find it lands differently for folks. Roll the shoulders, sit tall, Just kind of feel into this little bit of an awkward shape. Does that give you a good stretch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Lift the chest and lift the heart. Good. Release the arms down. Shake out the hands. Shake out the arms. All right, and then repeat that. Stretch the arms up. Bend the left elbow, and then the right hand is going to grab the elbow. You can move the head, move the shoulders, move through the ribs a little bit. Good. Go ahead and release the hands. Shake them out. All right, so I'm going to ask you to sit in either a cross-legged position or feet touching. So it really just depends on how you feel best about it. All right, sit tall in the spine. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Just let yourself sit for a minute here. Take a deep breath in and sigh the breath out. Twist to the right. Deep breath in, full breath out. Feel a softness in your face and your jaw and your shoulders. The steadiness of your spine and your breath. Take a breath of gratitude for your whole body able to participate in this practice. This is huge. Unwind from the twist and walk the hands out ahead of you. Now some are going to stretch the spine and some are going to want to weave in a little bit of movement. Steady breath in and out. Keeping the body in this shape for a minute and using breath as your focus. Engaging with the arms, engaging with the legs, long spine. Come on up. Change the crisscross of your legs if you're in a crisscross position. And when you're settled in that shape, twist to the left. Full breath in, full breath out. With your breath, unwind from the shape. And at this time, I'll ask you to come onto your back for relaxation. If you're someone that prefers to just sit in meditation, by all means, go for it. But after all that practice, it could feel really wonderful for the whole body to decompress for a few minutes, stretch out, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your hips, relax both of your legs. Let there be an ease in your breath that's really soothing and harmonious. Take a deep breath in, sigh the breath out. Feel the whole body relax. Recognize your breath. Recognize your whole body on your mat. Create some gentle movements. Thank yourself for this practice. Thank yourself for this time. Gratitude for being well. All right, and I'll invite you to tip over to one side to come into seated. In a comfortable seated position, reaffirm the breath that you've focused on, what feels good. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Bow your mind to your heart. Just sitting with gratitude for your ability to show up for yourself. I know that you'll do good in your day together. Wherever you go, whatever you do, take care. And we'll conclude with a song of Om. If you want to join in, take a nice deep breath in. You are totally awesome. Till next time, my friends. Namaste.